Hello again, friends. This is episode 2 of Karl's Losing It, or perhaps lack thereof. Um, I did, for a few days this past week, drag my sorry butt out of bed at 6 in the morning as opposed to 7 in the morning when my alarm normally goes off. Um, and I did go for walks. I did some basic calisthenics. I made a couple of conscious choices here and there, edgewise to eat slightly better or avoid this or that or the other thing. Um, I did not avoid enough. It appears that I have lost 0 weight, which is, I suppose, good because I haven't really gained weight either. Um, but I do want to lose weight. Um, it's obviously it's driving me fucking nuts. Um, but anyway, um, there is more motivation that arrived this week. Um, I got an invitation to my friend's wedding. One of my buddies from high school is getting married in August. Um, you know, it's it's hard to think about that and be like, well, several things, several considerations are coming in. For one, at the most basic level, at a wedding where people know you, presumably some people know you, um, they have an image in their head of what you look like, right? Um, and everybody's image of what you are is different because they might remember you from when you were a child, maybe the last time they saw you was 4 years ago and you were in college or something. In my case, it might be that some of the people have not seen me for a few years, but in such a window that they'll see me and go, "Oh my goodness, you've gotten fat again, haven't you?" Um, because they'll remember me when I was skinnier. And that's not something I really want, but I'm kind of at this weird crossroads of sorts. You know, um, I found it difficult. Getting back on track here, found it difficult to get out of bed at 6 in the morning and then have a full day of work followed by class, sometimes directly leading to sleep. On Tuesday, for example, Tuesdays I have 2 classes in the evening, and I am in person for the first one. The second one's remote, but it starts immediately after the first one, so it's remote from campus in St. Paul, and then I drive home, and then I get home at 10:30 at night, and I did what I should have, which was immediately go to bed at 10:30 and still not get 8 hours. If you are doing the math in your head, 7.5 maximum. If you go right to sleep as soon as you walk through the door, it's the best you can get. So I did lose some sleep this past week, and that's not good. So I'm gonna have to reassess again. Because the other thing was, once I got to Thursday, I went, screw this. I'm not. I'm not getting up at 6. I'm not. Um, I went back to set it for 7. Well, let's call it good because at some point it's just I need sleep. I need a lot of sleep. I've historically needed a lot of sleep. Since I was born, I needed a lot of sleep. I just do. Um, I don't know how some people, well, I suppose caffeine would be one of them, but, some people function on, 5-6 hours of sleep. They might even brag about it. But if I get 5-6 hours of sleep, I'm dead on my feet. Maybe it's because I'm fat. That could definitely be part of it. Lugging around an extra 100+ pounds than the average person will probably mean that I will not have the same caloric intake and export, and where and energy levels will be different, you know. I mean, that's pretty easy to figure out. If you take your average 180-pound dude and give him a hiking trail and say, here, hike a mile, go for it, have fun. And he comes back around, all right, come back here tomorrow. The next day he's in the same shape he is the previous day. He's like, all right, now do it again. But this time, here, wear this backpack with a bunch of bricks in it. And if you time both days, it'll be hard-pressed to find a guy going the same speed, unless he's trying to make a point or trying to make an effort on the second day as opposed to the first day. They're like, just walk normal. Dude's not going to walk normal. I have somehow slowly become adapted to it, where I can do movements and exercises and things despite my size somehow. I don't know how. But the fact of the matter is that notwithstanding that, it's still going to weigh me down, literally and figuratively. So, but I went in and I did the math, and I was like, maybe I want the wedding to be a goal. Maybe I want to lose some kind of weight before the wedding. I do. I want to look as good as possible, because I like to dance at weddings. I feel like that is somewhat of the obligation of the people who are there, to some degree, is to get out and dance, if there's a dance. There's gonna be a dance. Because it's a Midwestern wedding. It's traditional. It seems traditional. All I have is a save the date, but it didn't say nothing about. But I'm presuming that we're gonna, do the regular procedure of ceremony, go and sit at the reception for a couple hours waiting for the couple to show up and eat hors d'oeuvres or candy or whatever the hell they have there, and talk to some people awkwardly and hopefully drink some booze. And then, when they do show up, then eat dinner and then wait like another half hour to an hour for them to do some shenanigans and speeches and whatever. And then there'll be a dance for several hours, in which case, then you dance. I'm a big dude, but I can move a little bit, When I was in high school, I learned how to dance quite a lot. Because I was the homecoming representative in 10th grade. And I was this little party pooper, effectively. We had a party bus that all of the homecoming people collectively rented out for an evening. And we went and drove for like an hour to someplace to eat. But it was a party bus. I played music, and you danced on the bus, which was a foreign concept to me, because I, number one, didn't really dance. Because then, even, I was concerned about my image and my weight. I didn't like that. And two, it's, you're in a vehicle in motion. It doesn't make sense when every other time you've been in a vehicle in motion, you sit down and you belt yourself in, probably, unless it's a school bus for some reason. But then you still sit down. You don't stand up very much. Maybe if you're on a city bus, you stand up, but then you hold onto a handrail or a pole and you hold on, make sure you don't fall over. You're not sitting there dancing in the aisles. You know, you're just you're holding on and you're waiting to get to your destination. But I was effectively labeled a party pooper. Some upperclassmen came and talked to me about it, as I told them, I was like, I'm self-conscious about if I dance, I'll look like a doofus. And they're like, you know what, just try. Just try. And I did. I despite the fact that at the time I was a goody two-shoes and I did not underage drink in high school, for the record. So, I had a good time. I loosened up. I went along with it. I didn't go crazy, but I tried to put my own weird spin on things. And then that whole week, I watched a boatload of dance videos in my room and practiced, believe it or not. After school, I would pull up, I think it was Mahalo had a series of videos, and Howcast had a series of videos, and I tried my best to learn styles and things that I could do and moves that I could do, because nobody ever taught me how to dance. I am white. It does not come naturally to me. I still look like a doofus, but I'm a doofus that has some semblance of rhythm and tempo. But still, it's harder to dance the fatter you get, and I know that. When I lost a bunch of weight, I felt that, I had a period of time where I was at a lower weight. I was relatively fit for my lifetime, the best fit I was in, and I have also danced when I've been heavy. And, it hurts your knees. It hurts your knees. It hurts your knees to dance. If you're dancing properly, that is, if you are shaking your rear, you will probably hurt your knees if you get into it a little bit. There are some lazy dance moves you can do always, You can do the Cupid Shuffle and not break a sweat. It's part of the reason why I don't like the Cupid Shuffle. It's very lazy. A lot of very lazy people do it. It does get people up and moving, so that's good. But, as a song, an instructional style, if we had to pick one where you go along with the music and you do what the music says, gotta go with the Cha-Cha Slide, Casper Slide Part 2. But, whole big second note, I want to be able to dance without knee pain. As a 24-year-old, I would like to be able to dance without knee pain. I think that's not too big of an ask for myself to do that. Because I'm not supposed to have knee pain at 24. I see videos of people who are like, oh man, my joints, oh. And they're young. I'm like, what are you doing to screw up your joints, My father had knee surgery. I think I mentioned in the previous video. I'm not sure if I did. And I don't want to have knee surgery if I can avoid it. Or if nothing else, wait till I'm old and I can accept, if I'm over 60 and they're like, all right, your knee's shot, buddy. I'll be like, all right, he had a good life. I don't want to have knee surgery when I'm 40 or younger. I don't want to have knee surgery in a year or two. Just for me being fat makes me more likely to need a knee surgery in my lifetime. It's simple math. The joint can be real strong, but it's only, job is to kind of hold me up and keep me moving. And it's going to have less stress on it if the thing that's pushing on it all day, when I do move, is heavier than lighter, It's pretty simple math. Doesn't take a rocket surgeon to figure that one out. Yeah. So, week 2. We'll see what happens. Week 1 was not a smashing success. It was a start. But what did we learn? We learned sleep is important. But also, I'm really bad at procrastinating. Really bad. At work, at home, everything. You know. Even making this video is technically procrastinating from sleep. I have given up on continuing doing my homework for tomorrow. Well, technically my homework for tomorrow is done. I have homework for Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. But, I was reading. And I went, oh, it's 10:30, In other news, I now have curtains. Voila. They're hung up. It has been several months. I have lived here since October of 2022. It is now end of January 2023. So, almost 4 months have gone by. And I had no curtains in my living room until today. And now I have curtains. Isn't that nice? I can block out the dang sun from getting in here. It's nice to alleviate some stress with that. I also cleaned quite a bit today. My parents came and visited. So that was nice. But, anywho, we'll see what happens in week 2. But, sure as heck ain't going to be the same as week 1, I tell you that. I'll check in with you later. And if I don't, have a nice life.